to another episode of the Pinnacle Podcast, a podcast talking all things sales, marketing, and social. A desire to inspire is here. Whether you are a fitness professional looking to level up your knowledge in the industry, looking for that special aha moment to take you to the next level, or simply just looking for some good listening while lifting, you are in the right place to hear exactly what you need to succeed. Coming to you from Melbourne, Australia, the Pinnacle Podcast is live.
What's going on, everyone? Simon here with you from Pinnacle Fitness Consulting, the six-figure PT specialists, for another podcast episode. And on this episode, I want to make this one a really clear, concise, punchy episode where we're going to discuss how to pretty much narrow down your audience and how to find people that are going to be worthy of your service. But most importantly, finding people who are ready. So finding people who are ready to actually invest and take on your services. So I think, first and foremost, my journey in the industry, I think it's been a lengthy one now, and started off as a personal trainer who was struggling just like everyone else. Started off in a gym where there was an average amount of members. There wasn't a massive stream of leads coming my way. There was enough, but struggled. And basically, to tell you the story, I struggled hard and I couldn't sell, and I found myself trying to learn how to do different things and learn from people doing things for free and trying to find my way to kind of build up the business or to upscale up my business ladder, as it were. And I found that when I actually cracked the code and I invested in my first business coach, and my business did very well, I found that I was actually focusing on the wrong people. So when I say the title of this podcast being focusing on people who are ready, that's what I really found. Now, ever since then, as I've progressed through the life of the business and then through my consulting model as well, I found that it's not just me who was and who is still to this day trying to sell to the wrong people. It's like there's a saying where it's like trying to push shit uphill. So it's exactly like that. It's always going to come back the other way. If you're focusing on people who are not ready to invest and you're trying to sell something to somebody who doesn't want it, you're always going to get a negative outcome, and you're always going to find that person is going to end up being pissed. It's going to end up being pretty pissed off with you as well, because they're going to see, even though your intentions are in the right place, is that you're just trying to sell something. And many of you guys listening to this, tuning into this episode and the other episodes that I've been doing and will be doing in the coming weeks, you'll resonate to this message. So basically, how do we find the right audience? And then how do we focus, and what's the benefit of focusing on the people who are ready? So in terms of dialing down your audience, guys, very simple. It comes down to, and it's a very basic, it's very basic stuff, this. However, a lot of people don't do it. You need to look at your niche market, and this is something that I never did. I never ever did this, and I was lucky enough to do quite well once I knew how to focus on the right people who were ready. And how I priced my product correctly, my sales got good, and I had basically a funneling system which worked well. I was okay, but I never believed you needed to focus on a niche market. But in this day and age, in 2019, and especially with the presence of online, the online market now, people trying to sell stuff online and people getting feeling like they're getting scammed, it's now more important than ever that you focus on a niche market. All right. So when I say that, what do I really mean? So one of the biggest things, as an example, would be this. For me, as a business consultant, I focus mainly on people who are rental trainers, so face-to-face personal trainers in gyms. That's it. I don't specialize in online training. I've done a lot of it, and I do coach people how to do it, which I believe is the best way, because I've invested lots of money and I've learned from the best on how to do it. But that's not my niche. And one of the things I always find is that I'm always drawn to try and help people who aren't in my target niche and in my target market. However, it's advantageous to not do that. So how do we translate that sort of niche to a PT market? So for you, listening to this right now, it would be something along the lines of, I focus on females in the age bracket of 20 to 30 getting XYZ goal. So weight loss or strength and conditioning or how to build a bigger booty or whatever they want to do. Now, the reason why having a niche market like this is going to benefit you is because you're speaking the language of someone's pain barrier, which is what their goal is and what they've always wanted. Now, when you dial into that, you're automatically going to resonate with that person. So it's very, very basic stuff, this, guys. But again, I see so many people, many of which that I coach, and many of people that want help from me, and they say that they've got a niche, but then they're working with the complete opposite audience. It's really important that you don't defer away from that niche. Now, once you have the niche dialed in, it's very, very, very simple then, guys, to basically move on to the main title of this podcast episode, which is focusing on people who are ready. Now, I believe personally, the fitness industry is one of the toughest industries to crack. There are a multitude of reasons as to why, one of them being that there is a large amount of competition all over the world. I believe personally that personal training is an easy way out for anybody who might not necessarily have gone to university or couldn't get in, or did and dropped out and realized that they were following something they weren't passionate about. I think that it's an easy way out, and it sounds, you take it as it comes. This is my belief. I think it's an easy way out for people to do something, because a lot of people are passionate about gym training and health and fitness. So there's a lot of saturation in the marketplace. All right. So I believe it's one of the toughest industries, and for that reason alone, you've got the competition and XYZ, like I've just talked about. But one of the most frustrating things, and what makes this industry so hard, is basically the fact that people are not trained in the right areas that they need to be, and it's not their fault, because in the governing body systems, when you're getting your level 1 or 2 or cert 3 or 4 or wherever you are in the world, they don't teach you the fundamentals of marketing and sales, which is going to enable you to then sell to your audience. So you have all of these sort of factors which makes this industry so hard. So it's saturated, plus there's not the right training there. Then if you do want to go and invest in a business coach, it's literally these days, so many people that I speak to, it's like a Russian roulette of which is the right coach to get help from without having to pay $20, $30, $40, $50,000 up front, or equivalent in the currency wherever you are, and having to look through their social media profiles and pages to see any concrete evidence that they are actually the right coach. But anyway, when you can crack the code, I believe it's still one of the hardest industries, and the main reason being is because people are not focusing on the people that are ready to invest. So I want to reiterate that again. One of the reasons why it's very hard is because people just want to sell to make money, and people are focusing on the people who are not ready to invest just to try and make a sale. So you're always going to have people, regardless of the industry, who are simply not ready to purchase. There might be some people that want office space, but the office space that you're leasing might not resonate with them, and it might be the right one. You have to grin and bear that, and you have to move on. It's as simple as that. The same thing can be said for any industries in construction, in building houses. There are multiple builders out there that you can choose to build houses with, but some people like to go out and shop first. Think of it like this. You go out to display homes, and when you go to a display home, you just want to be left alone, right? You know what I'm saying? You want to be left alone. You want to walk around the display home. You want to just check it out. The last thing you want is to be bombarded by people that are trying to sell you that house. I mean, as you listen to this podcast episode, I can guarantee you right now that you're agreeing with me 100% on that one. It's like when you go into a clothes shop and someone, or you go into a shoe shop and someone comes over to you. Oh, how can I help you? They'll look great on you. Just leave me alone, right? Just leave me alone. I'm in the shop because I'm interested in buying something, but then I don't want to be harassed by someone trying to sell me something. So again, the same thing, the same message resonates and is relative to the PT industry. When you shift your focus from just trying to sell to anyone, and like we've already spoken before, dial down a niche market that you want to help, and then once you have that niche market, we market accordingly to that specific type of person, at the same time trying not to defer away from that niche market, like I've pointed out before. You then need to focus on the people who are ready. Another thing that I want to just rewind and point out, guys, is another reason that the PT industry is so damn hard, and I believe it's the hardest industry out there, the fitness industry, as a business owner, is because you're dealing with people's emotions, right? It's not like you're in the phone market where you're a Samsung or you're an Apple or you're a Nokia back in the day, where you've got a product that people want and can't live without. It's an easy market for people like that. Yeah, we got to give them amazing credit for the products they put together, but we're selling stuff that people don't necessarily need. We know that they can benefit from them, but they don't necessarily need them. So it makes it even harder. So there's just an extra little point there. But once you've narrowed down that niche, focus on the people who are ready to invest. Any of you listening to this episode now, you probably will have done some form of marketing before. You may have tapped into some people's DMs before, where you've tried to send out direct messages to people's inboxes on Instagram, on Facebook. You might be sending out messages to people. You might have inquiries come through on your website and you reply to them, that sort of thing, and you get nothing back. One of the hardest things to face, to grin and to bear in this industry, is that you are still going to get people who are not ready, but who are out looking at the display house. So you're going to get people who are interested in the product, but they're still not ready to buy. And that right there, guys, is the kicker and backs up the title of this podcast episode, that you need to focus on people who are ready. Be prepared. Have a thick skin and be prepared to deal with people's no's. A no doesn't mean no, it just means not right now, and it is literally that simple, guys. I cannot put it any other way. A no means not right now. If you've dialed down a niche and you're focusing on the people who are ready and you still get a no, there's something there that is holding them back. And some people's excuses that we commonly hear, like money, time, I need to ask my partner. You've heard, everyone listening to this has heard those excuses before. Sometimes, guys, those excuses are actually legitimate reasons. And I'm proof, and there are probably a lot of you again listening to this episode who are proof that these people have legitimate excuses and they do actually come back around. But what I'm trying to say, guys, to you is this, and what I want to leave you with is that focusing on the people that are ready are going to ensure that you do not get demoralized with your work ethic and your work rate, and ensuring that you're always keeping your head held high and you're always motivated to work, because you're focusing on the people that are ready, and when they're ready, you know they're going to come to you, because, you know, if you've had any help and you know what you're doing, you've built products with the right price point, with the right value to the right target audience, those people will come back to you. So make sure, guys, again, that the main point is to focus on people who are ready. Don't sell to anybody. You need to speak and resonate to people's pain barriers, and obviously resonate a message to them directly. That will instantly get them engaged with you. So you're automatically going to be separating yourself from the rest just by doing that alone. And from there, you've then got to start again and then focus on the ones that are ready. If people don't reply to your messages, don't worry about it. If people don't reply to your DMs on Instagram or on Facebook, don't worry about it. Those people just are not ready. And it's as simple as that. They haven't been through what you've been through potentially in business. You know, for me, selling coaching or a consulting service, those people might not have never had a business coach before. They might have had a business coach before, or worked with a consulting company that has ripped them off. You know, it's frustrating for someone who really does care, like you and I in PT and in consulting, that when you know you're doing the best and when you know that you're offering the best, that people just cannot see it. But again, guys, some people have those legitimate reasons as to why they have a barrier there and why they might not be stepping out of their comfort zone as easily as others. So the best way to get around it is to focus all of your energy on the people who are ready, and it's as simple as that. Taking it forward as well, guys, once you've got those guys on board, I believe the same thing is applicable to all clients. You're going to find that some people are simply more invested than others on their PT journey. We sure as hell see that at SRF Fitness in the gym here in Melbourne. We see that in our facilities, and we focus more energy into those people. If other people do not want the nutrition, the accountability 24/7, and those extra perks that we offer, all of which I'm happy to share with anyone listening to this episode, simply reach out, give me a message, and I'll reply to you and show you how we're doing things. Those people that are not ready, that's fine. And those people that don't want that extra part of the service, no problem. We'll give them what they do want because they're ready for that particular part of the service, and that's what they desire. So I've been Simon from Pinnacle, guys. As always, thanks for tuning into this podcast on focusing on people who are ready in relation to selling your personal training service and pretty much any service in general, guys. As you know, these podcast episodes are here for all business owners. Obviously, we're specializing in the fitness industry and consulting and personal training. However, whether you're a hairdresser, whether you're a self-employed entrepreneur in any industry, I don't know why I came up with a hairdresser there, but you know what I'm saying, guys. Hopefully you've taken some value from it, and tune in on episode 3 coming your way very shortly. Take care, guys.